on January 2nd type goals. We're going to have some real answering your questions at 321-339-1055. You can always listen by downloading the Florida Man Radio app worldwide. We're very proud of that app. You can also watch the television programs this weekend and every weekend. Saturday, 12:30 p.m. over by following it. You have Power Radio on Facebook and YouTube. Excellent show for you tonight. You're not going to want to miss a thing. But first, let me introduce you to the team to my right. Again, wearing a long sleeve t-shirt under a short sleeve t-shirt is the Orlando radio legend, Mick Dolan. Mick, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm layered.
Merry Christmas to you as well.
Yeah.
He's wearing a red Merry Christmas t-shirt, ladies and gentlemen, over a blue long sleeve t-shirt. What does the long sleeve t-shirt say?
Kansas University.
Kansas always. Directly to his right, didn't know she was going to be here tonight, it is the beautiful Briana. Hello, Briana.
Hello, and you're welcome.
Did you tell us you were going to be here tonight? Or
Yeah,
I
she
did.
She did?
Yeah.
I don't know what show.
You've had a long day.
I don't know what show I've
I'll
been
let it
listening
pass.
to. The Kenny is directly next to her, producing the digital version of the show, which again you can watch at You Have Power Radio on Facebook and YouTube. Hello, The Kenny. How are you?
Oi, oi.
Hey.
Good day, mate.
Pushing the buttons, making sure we are on the air. My good friend who did go to work today because there was no traffic, EC. Hello, EC.
Yeah, don't remind me about that.
And here tonight from GC Wealth Management, my certified financial planner, my financial advisor, and good friend, Ron Christopher. Ron, what up?
I've got the Christmas spirit.
Any sort of questions, 321-339-1055. Don't worry, Mick Dolan. I'm going to smell what's in that cup in a minute. But here's what we're going to talk about tonight, because I do think that New Year's resolutions and that whole term can get a little bit annoying. It's the whole deal. Oh, don't go to the gym on January 2nd because you can't get a parking spot. Or don't go to the gym on January 3rd because you can't get a treadmill because they're all packed. But go on January 15th and you're fine because New Year's resolutions are totally out the window. But we're going to give you some advice tonight on some things that you can do for next year. And not just next year, guys. For next decade. This is 2019. We're going into a brand new decade. Some things that you can do to really better your life, really better your financial life, and just better your entire family. These are simple things that we can do, and it's stuff that you think about all the time, but you don't take a moment to sit down and really analyze and really think about it. Here's what I do. And Briana can tell you. If you were to walk in I'm a very visual dude. If you were to walk in my office and you look to the left, there's this entire wall. Huge wall. Big wall in my office that's painted. What do you call that, Briana? What do I paint it with? Do you know?
It's dry erase paint.
It's the entire wall of my office that's a dry erase board, essentially. So this time of the year, I'm literally writing stuff that I want to accomplish for next year, and I have to and I can sit there at my desk all year long and visualize this entire wall, and it's like what I want to accomplish for the firm, what I want to accomplish personally. I want to get down to 185 pounds. That hasn't happened this year. But next year it will.
It stays on the wall.
At least I don't have to erase that this year. You know what I mean?
It's one less thing to write.
Keep
Yeah.
it alive.
You're so efficient.
But I think that things like that are important, and we can have ideas and we can have thoughts about what we want to do next year. And you're like, well, Justin, this is annoying because everyone has these goals for the year. You're being obnoxious. We can go listen to a cassette tape self-help deal about goals for next year. But I want to be clear with you. There has to be a time where, as humans, we are able to sort of hit that reset button a little bit and realize that year, I don't care if your personal fiscal year ends in June or July. You can do it in June or July. I don't care if July 4th you hit the reset button. But at some point you have to hit the reset button and see, okay, what have I accomplished in the last year? Where am I now as a human? Where am I now as an employee? Where am I as a business owner? Where you have to hit that reset button and say, okay, now I figured out what I did last year. What am I going to really look for next year? How can I make life better for me next year? How can I make life better for my family next year? And it's really goals. And Ron, you're the guy who would really hold my feet to the fire often and say, Justin, man, You got kids now. You can't keep running your business like you're. He was the one that was yelling at me, Mick. I mean, in a friendly, loving way.
Right.
But he would yell at me like, "Yo, dude, you have no health insurance hardly at all. What are you gonna do? You're making decent money. You have 2 little kids. If you die, God forbid, you die. What are they gonna do, Ron? I mean, doesn't there have to be a certain point in the year that whether we're an employee and we look at our employee benefits, or whether we're self-employed and we look at our own life insurance benefits, isn't this a good time?"
Yeah, so I think 2020, I'm really personally looking forward to 2020. I think it's a cool number for a year, kind of represents clear vision.
Time out. And I don't mean to interrupt you, Ron Christopher. He is looking forward to 2020 because he will officially turn 12 years old in 2020. Tell me the story.
Exactly. So for those you don't know, I was born on leap year, so...
Oh boy.
He's a leap year baby. He'll be turning 12
so
in 2020. February 29th, he'll be 12.
Yeah.
Dude, we better have a party on this show
Absolutely.
on February 29th next year.
So, yeah, and my youngest is 9. He'll be 9 before I'm 12. So in like 4 years, he'll be older than me. Or we'll be the same age.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, wow.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is.
Same age as my dad.
But
12?
but I'm really looking forward to 2020. I think what 2020 represents from a visualization standpoint, represents clarity, 2020 vision. I think this is the year that people can really grab onto these big, life-changing things. Everyone who's listening out there knows all about New Year's resolutions. How many have we all made, and how many have we all kept? I mean, rarely does someone keep a New Year's resolution, and we're bombarded constantly with them. I mean, if you do an internet, you just go to yahoo.com or Google, whatever, you're just going to see article after article after article that is, 10 tips, all this clickbait.
Self-help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
10
Clickbait,
tips.
exactly.
10 tips for 2020, blah, blah, blah. But the reason why people don't follow through with them is because they do need a coach to hold their feet to the fire. That's what I do for them on a financial basis, is I hold their feet to the fire. I get them to state their best intentions, and then we move to knock them down.
And, it is annoying almost that we're sitting here on the radio talking about this. In some ways, it's annoying. Oh, my gosh, another self-help guru there on the radio. This is not what I'm talking about at all. I'm really trying to tell you what I do personally. And, up until maybe 3-4 years ago, Ron, I wouldn't write it down. I would just think, okay, I'm going to do this next
All in
year.
your head.
And keep it all in my head. Does it work like that if you don't write it down, if you just keep it all in your head?
No, you need to write it down, and I love what you're doing with the board. That is fantastic. The business clients I have, when I walk into their office, how they conduct their business says a lot by, things like that. A lot of businesses, mostly these, more modern businesses, you walk in, they have these idea boards, like a whole wall just with ideas and their goals and everything, and it stays there.
Yeah.
It gets adjusted through time.
Yeah.
And I have a similar thing that I do. But I think that's critical, is that you're reminded of your goals periodically. So the first thing you'd want to do in making goals is create a list, all right? And don't create a 5-item list. Don't create a 10-item list. Create a 20, 25, 30-item list. What happens is, as you start making that list, you go down that list, the hardest things that you're going to do are the ones that are 21, 22, 23, 24 on your list. But they're the most meaningful things that you can do. They're the hardest, but they're the most meaningful. Think big. Don't do the typical New Year's resolutions. Fail at them by February 1st. Think big. Set your horizon. Set a big goal and make a plan to obtain it.
So, but how big do I go though? Because think about it like this. Let's say that I weigh 300 pounds, and I'm like, wow, I've been 300 pounds the last 18 years. But this year I'm going to get down to 185, which could be not attainable, without maybe a surgery or something. I mean, do I make it attainable? I mean, how far do I really push it, you think?
Well, so you don't focus on results with your goals, you focus on process. So let's say you're 300 pounds and you want to lose 115 pounds. Well, you do the things that a healthy person does. You commit to going to the gym 3 days a week. You commit to eating. So you focus on that process, and the goal happens naturally. Because what happens when you set a goal? Let's use a realistic goal. I'm going to lose 40 pounds, let's say. You lose the 40 pounds, guess what happens? Right after you lose that 40 pounds, it starts creeping back on, and you put it right back up. And weight loss is the best thing because it's the most common goal. It's easiest thing to describe, but it works the same way with finances. You want to set up those habits, and you want to focus on the process, and the wealth building takes care of itself. Just like you, we started the habit, we automated the habit, and then look what happened.
And I talk a lot about automation with you, Ron, because, again, and Mick, we've talked about this before, I know, but I was making good money. I had nothing saved whatsoever because, the money was sitting in my checking account or whatever. I would just spend it. And Ron would say year after year, first of all, Justin, it's the end of the year, you've made money this year. You're going to end up paying taxes on it. Right? And I'm whatever, Ron, I'll deal with that next October 15th, Ron. I don't care. Why are you being so annoying? And then he would say, Justin, I'm telling you, we need to set up an account for your children for their college fund. And then, Justin, we need to set up a retirement fund for you because you're not going to be able to work forever. You are aging every single day. And I was like, okay, fine, Ron, set it up. And he's like, all right, and I'll send a check in every now and again. Never sent a check, right? Finally, Ron said to me, and I believe fully Ron is the best financial planner on the planet, but certainly around here because you cared and you shook me a little bit. Not annoyingly shook me, but you
got your attention.
You weren't afraid to tell me exactly what to do. So he said to Justin, what you have to do, you have to get, even if it's only $250 a month or $500 a month, something that you have automatically just withdrawn from your check or withdrawn from your bank account every month. And I guarantee you're going to talk to me in a year. You're going to talk to me in 2 years, 3 years. You're going to be like, damn, thank you for doing that, Ron. And it's working fantastic because, we kept it to an amount that you feel that it's going out every month, but it's not like we can't put food on the table. That's going out every month. But then, when you look in that retirement account or that college fund, especially for me, you feel so good because you can see that it's growing. Because not only is the money being saved, the money is compound interest on itself.
Right. So Albert Einstein said that's the eighth wonder of the world that even he didn't understand, which is compound interest.
Right.
And so what people make the mistake of is they're constantly in survival mode. So when they make goals, they think small. They think survival. They don't think thriving. And what you just described is a thriving goal. It's something that can grow your wealth, make you feel more abundant. The neat thing about abundance is it's a law of attraction. Once you start feeling abundant, guess what comes in? More abundance, and more abundance, and more abundance. And it just perpetuates.
321-339-1055. Right, I forgot to tell you a story that I was thinking about the other day. I know you remember this day, but it was something that I don't think I've told you thank you enough. It was when I had my first child, Sophia. So now, 7.5 years ago almost. Wow. I didn't even understand that when you have a child, your guy friends are supposed to kind of come have a cigar with you. Yeah. There was one person who came to me, probably the next. Do you remember this?
I think it was
that night or the next day. It was probably the next day. Ron Christopher comes to my house. I believe we had a scotch or a glass of whiskey or something. He brought a cigar and said, kind of, welcome to the club. And it's a day that will always remain in my head as an incredible. I get shivers thinking about it because it was my first child, and you kind of welcomed me into fatherhood as well. Not only is he my financial planner, he welcomed me to fatherhood as well.
Right.
So thank you
with
for
that. With that, your partner's responsibility, to protect her.
Yeah.
And now child too. So.
There you go. Unbelievable. 321-339-1055. So here's something that you made me think about in our pre-show talk today. And I love this because this is something that I do. I don't write it down and plan it, but it's something that I do occasionally. Commit to no-spend days.
Where you don't spend a dime.
Where you don't spend anything. Because think about it like this. Think about a weekend. So you're done with work on Friday. You're like, okay, this weekend could go one of a few different ways. We could either go out to dinner tonight, a nice dinner, Friday night dinner. Then Saturday we'll go have brunch with the friends. And then Sunday, maybe we'll go see a movie. Or, think back to the Blockbuster days. On our way home from work, maybe we'll stop by the Blockbuster, get 3 or 4 movies.
I love the Friday nights.
And we're going to spend the entire weekend, maybe making a soup or something because it's cold out and watch all these movies and literally spend no money. We don't really think about no-spend weekends or no-spend days anymore, Ron.
Yeah, I think...
Just about have to spend money, though.
Exactly. That's what everyone thinks, and this is my favorite modern go-to resolution, if you will. My go-to money idea that is something that has only been discussed in maybe the recent handful of years. A lot of the things you read have been around forever. It's just you keep hearing the same thing over and over.
Stuff.
Right. So I mean, today it's granted you have a Netflix subscription that technically you're paying for that, but you could set up circle a weekend in advance, circle a Sunday in advance, do a Netflix day with your kids. We've been into Monopoly lately. I've been killing my kids in Monopoly. Very satisfying. Although my 10-year-old does give me a run. I mean, I don't know how she gets Park Place and Boardwalk all the time, but I got like a third of the board. But anyways, so things like that do not cost a lot of money. And I think this has a two-pronged effect. One is you're not spending money. But two, as people and in our own families, we're losing that relationship connection because of smartphones.
Yeah.
How many people would you rather text than call? And we all have that friend that calls us and we're like, oh, jeez, why is he calling me?
Exactly.
I'm like, dude, I can't talk, just text me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're getting away from that as a people, and I think this brings some connection, some ingenuity to let's have fun, but let's not do it. Let's not go spend a bunch of money to do it. So.
Okay, so think about Ash Wednesday or these other religions that do that. Oh, we're gonna fast for the next 3 or 4 days.
Lent.
Okay, fine. Lent. All right, we're not gonna eat for a week. Yet as consumers, we can't do a 1 day a month of no spending. Yeah, we can fast, no problem. Now you know what? God said don't eat for a week. Okay, cool. But yet we're afraid to not spend money for a day. I mean that's where we're at.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think a lot of people have a hard time, even thinking that has a would have a meaningful impact on their life, whether that's financially or personally.
Well, I think it makes people feel good sometimes to spend money. Hey, I could spend some money. I can do this. I can get this. I need this.
Well, that's what they want you to do. They want you to buy something.
Well, of course.
They get, it's the drug of consumerism.
Yeah.
321-339-1055. Joined tonight by Ron Christopher, the owner of GC Wealth Management. You can check out his website, gcwadvisors.com. He is but this is not a radio gig. He is my financial planner. He's my certified financial planner. And I trust him with my life and certainly with my money. Give him a call if you would like, off the air. 407. What number do you like for us to use?
407-947-7396.
Yeah.
You get direct to me.
Direct
all
to you.
hours, yeah.
And there's no consultation charge. If you have any questions about money or retirement accounts or college funds, I mean, call my boy Ron. He will absolutely take great care of you. And speaking of college funds, Ron, the question I think is this, and this is something I deal with in my household all the time. Because we're talking about, saving money, but also you want to be a good father and spend money on your children. How do you know if you're a good mom or dad? Let's say it's a Sunday now, and daughter or son. Like, well, Dad, we haven't spent a lot of time with you. We would like to go to Disney World and spend $1,000, or maybe we stay home and play Monopoly. I mean, is there a line there of, good parenting, but also being a good shepherd of your money? I don't know.
Yeah, so more and more parents are afraid to disappoint their kids, okay? Because
I'm right there.
I'm there too, and me and my wife, that's the number one source of our discussions, if you will, is what we say yes to and what we say no to. And what everyone needs to understand is when you say no to something, you're saying yes to something as well. And what you need to do is be as minimalist as possible, be as simple as possible for your kids. Prioritize what it is that you want to do. If you want to spend money on tangible items, things that the kids are going to have for a period of time, that's one thing. If you want to go blow it at Disney, to me, just come over to my house, we'll light it on fire, okay? Because you won't catch me in Disney. It just won't happen. That's just a incinerator of money. But
Really?
Do you have any advice to? And I fully agree with that. And I think we can all, any of us that are parents, we understand there's a fine line there, and we don't want to spoil them. We want to be good parents. We want to save money. It's very hard to figure out what the right way to do things is, and I don't necessarily know that any parenting book is going to teach us how to do it the right way.
no, the only thing I would say is that what your friends or what your kids' friends' parents are doing for them is not what you have to do for your kids. And I'm 48, but my kids are young. So the friends' parents are in their 30s. And believe me, they have
a different mindset.
Completely different mindset than me. I feel like I am so out of step with modern Florida living because I'm trying to discipline kids and do this for my kids and that. Like, my kids don't have a game console. We don't have video games in my house.
What?
Do you know how hard that is to maintain?
Yeah, what are you running over there?
Yeah.
Kenny just died.
But
I know,
It's
like,
dude,
Literally
that's
passed out.
criminal.
Get the
I'm
smelling
gonna come
salts
take your
out.
kids from you.
my heart just dropped, man.
My heart.
No, but you know,
Social-
you're right. We give them too much. It's like, I think I found that I was spoiling my kids by doing it for them, not making them do it. In other words, they didn't want to do the chores. They didn't want to, okay, well,
Yeah.
you know, mama say, they're just kids, you know.
321-339-1055. Now, we're in the gifting season as well. You know, we're spoiling them already. And now it's gifting time. It's so easy to go to Amazon. Let's go to the Amazon app. Let's go to Wayfair. We'll buy some outdoor furniture. Walmart app. So many places to buy gifts now. You don't have to go even take the effort to start your car and go to the store. You could really be thinking about little Johnny and about how happy your grandson Johnny's going to be when you send him that new game. Well, let me be clear with you first. If you're the grandparent, you probably know what Johnny likes a little bit. A little bit. That you're so far removed from, the real day-to-day life of what Johnny really, really, really likes. But I do know one thing. Whether it's your son or your grandson or your daughter or your granddaughter, if you really want to give a great gift to a child, I cannot think of a better gift to give them than like a college fund or their first investment account, and then also teach them.
Yeah.
Not only, hey, not only am I giving you this account, not only am I paying for your college now, I'm going to show you exactly how to log into this account so you can actually watch your money, your real money grow. It's sort of analogous to when I was a kid, my grandparents would send me like these little bond things. We talked about this one time on the show, I think. But now, the kids aren't going to understand savings bonds anymore. But I think if you could show them that, oh, I'm giving you a college fund and here's how to log in. This is your login information. And here is how your money is. Here, this is the money that's going to pay for your college. I mean, will kids like that? And can you give that to kids now as a gift? We'll answer that question and many more. 321-339-1055. It's Justin Clark on the Florida Man Radio Network.
You're listening to You Have Power Radio with attorney Justin Clark.
Good luck with that college thing. I already got some in there. Here, put it in.
What, wine? I don't get any?
I thought that was your cup. That's why I was checking.
Oh, this is
No,
my
I'd love it.
Thanks, I don't get any.
Because you're not gonna get
Let me
any.
talk more about that.
Which part?
I got some kids' books.
Okay.
That also can be like a teens call me. You can have freebies.
Kenny's not
I haven't even gotten to anything I want to get. Like a
You
book,
can't.
benefit package, cut table.
Well, what?
Mine
Gifts.
doesn't go to children.
What else am I missing?
There's
Yeah,
You
thank
got
you.
the cup.
At Thanksgiving, I sit at the little kids' table on the side, little mini table.
Where does my money go? And they're written in the Dr. Seuss theme.
Can you guys pour it outside so people can see?
Yeah.
AKA.
Put his camera on.
Got it.
Nah, I think it was on. Hopefully.
Put his camera on now.
That's okay. Oh, now I see what you're saying. I got
What are you
it. Hold it up. Hold it up, Brianna.
There.
That's another thing I can mention. All my office stuff, we have free kids.
No, I need his cup.
Oh, okay. Like a
They can't see you.
it has water in it.
That's
Chug the water.
Chug it. There it is.
He took the words out right out.
You're in college.
Yeah.
University of
Once it
Tennessee.
touches your lips.
You You're fun,
So
Ron.
Kenny, you wouldn't survive in my house with no game consoles. Is that it?
Yeah, man. Video games. That's my.
So where are they
That's
playing?
my
But,
come down.
but that's okay because video,
outside.
video games are his no-spin weekends. You know, it costs you nothing to play video games on the weekend, right?
Yeah.
I actually remember thinking. So my little brother came down to visit me one time when I
you're
was
still
like
paying for it.
26,
Because you charged it.
and I wasn't
You're still
playing
paying for it.
video games
One-time
and
payment.
shit, but he was a big video
One-time
game
fee.
guy, and he made me go buy a Nintendo something, and then
So he could
He
play.
made you.
so he could play. But then there were a couple times in the next like few weeks that I would say, you know, maybe I'll just stay in this weekend, play some video games, go to bed. I won't go to the bars and shit. It's like a no-spin weekend. I order Domino's.
Even the last video game I think
Yeah.
I played was Tetris or
Oh, I love Tetris.
Blades of Steel, or they had this.
They have
one-
Tetris again.
Yeah, they re-release it a lot because it's a timeless game.
Yeah,
It's just,
Like Mortal Kombat.
like
Yeah, I
like
think
Monopoly.
Tetris, Game
They
Boy.
had this.
Remember the Game Boy?
They had this volleyball game on Nintendo. It had this turbo button. You could come up and spike it on people and blast them.
I think that was the name of the game, Super Spike or something
yeah,
like
it was
that.
Great.
I
That was
remember.
that's like the last video. That was in
You guys
1989
ever
or
see
something.
Duck Hunt?
Oh yeah,
That
what's
comes
up?
great.
That was
Zelda?
Oh yeah.
You ever play Zelda?
I still go to Table Buzzers and mess up Duck Hunt. Have a whole line behind you. Like, shut up.
We're at
That
player
was-
one.
And it's
And
just,
then once I hit like 6, so I only play sports games. I never played another sports game after
that's
that.
the one
I love the arcades back then because you had that's all you heard was Blades of Steel. And then they had this like Dungeons and Dragons type game. It was like this like table with all these little rollers and stuff. Anyways, my neighbor's kid has the video game set up.
How's the watch party
My
going?
son and him are best friends. It used to be get home from school, whoever gets outside first, you know, they're hitting each other on the way to the house, let's go do something to play. Now, neighbor's kids got video games.
Ages
So I
like
can see the kid.
What is that?
My kid's like, Jesus, what am I
I'm
gonna
ready
do
for
to get
this.
some
Man.
action?
I'm on D now.
She's playing with like 5-year-olds because Whit's he's addicted to video games.
Awesome. Can you send me that picture?
Only
Yeah,
thing.
it's not bad.
There was a show we did without a guest, so I had deleted the guest part of
I'm
this
48,
form of the
they're
thing.
30.
Yeah, I saw that.
And
Yeah, so I
are
need to add
everybody
that
else in
back.
their 30s, so to them, that's what they grew up with. I grew up with Tetris and Duck
Not the
Hunt,
liver. Trash.
I grew up with Paul.
Defender,
You need
and
service.
hemorrhoids.
I'm sorry.
Yo, worry. I was like, I'm just emailing to her later.
What is this mess?
Batman.
That shit, you got Android. That's why you need an iPhone.
Nah, bruh.
You get an iPhone, I can airdrop it.
Okay.
Seamless.
Got a minute with your disclaimer in here, so.
Nah, but
Tune in for that.
Woo!
Brianna's big chance here, right?
They make your you look so little in your head.
You know, I should introduce you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, spokesperson Brianna Daniel.
No, it's for your spokesperson.
Did we get the disclaimer in today?
Gonna play right now.
Sorry.
Today's segment is brought to you.
She's like, don't you ever question me. Don't you know I will punch you in the face.
with the clap back.
Don't you know I played football?
Capital Federal and Security Semester Protection. 6451 Federal Highway 21201. Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33308. Phone number 954-782-4774. Advisory services are offered through Quebec Advisors. GC Wealth Management is not affiliated with Quebec Securities or Quebec Advisors.
It's like butter.
Power Radio with attorney Justin Clark.
Hey, we're gonna get to gifting your children and grandchildren college funds and retirement accounts here in a minute. But I want to start with cutting the cord.
Uh-oh.
We've all heard about it. By the way, questions 321-339-105. I'm joined today by Ron Christopher, certified financial planner and the owner, founder of GC Wealth Management. Ron, this is a hot topic lately.
Yes, sir.
Should we cut the cord or not cut the cord when we talk about cable? What do you think?
So I've tried this a couple of times in the past, and for me it didn't take. For me it's hard.
For you or your kids?
For well,
You were missing 90 Day Fiancé, were you?
no, well, so I had to get Hulu's.
Below deck?
What is that?
I think I'm giving myself away here. You guys didn't hear that, did you?
You can't forget that.
Top fan? No, we didn't hear that.
I can't forget it now.
Fan club president. So my wife needed Hulu to watch General Hospital. Not a big deal. It's $7.99 a month. That's it. And then
Plus tax.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
My kids,
I'm adding this up. Keep going.
I thought they could do the
Oh,
Amazon
right,
Prime
right.
thing, which they could,
I
but
love
next thing you know, I'm getting whacked $40 for iCarly seasons. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Oh,
So I
iCarly.
started adding up.
Wow.
I'm like, okay, it's not saving me that much money, and I miss ESPN and all that stuff. But
Mm.
now, I guess there are better streaming services because most of guys out there, we didn't want to cut the cord because we can't do without our sports.
Well, yeah, and it's just such a pain in the butt to go to each little app and
Exactly.
Or are we just trained because of our age that we're used to that? And someone like the Beautiful Briana or even the Kenny, that's normal to them. Guys, chime in, please.
Yeah, honestly, so I'm recently a Disney Plus member. So with Disney Plus, we get $12.99 Disney Plus, ESPN Plus because I do need my sports, and Hulu included in that for the flat fee, which is actually $12.99 is cheaper than 1 month on Netflix, which is $15.99.
But you also have Netflix.
I'm sold.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Also have-
13 plus whatever, 12.
And I also have an Amazon because I'm a Prime member.
So
So
35, 40 bucks.
I
40
do-
bucks.
and that's it.
That's it. You
And
don't have
Prime doesn't cost her anything extra.
Yeah, 'cause
for
included
the
in
content
my-
unless you buy.
Oh yeah, but I call BS on that. You would have a regular Amazon if it weren't for the video thing, right?
No,
No, I have-
She needs that.
For the free
Yeah,
shipping.
that's technically-
That's all-
so
that's
so
why we
here's
all
the
do
other
it.
thing. And I don't know if Amazon's even going to listen to hear this, but I signed up with Amazon as a Prime member as a student. So I'm locked into that student price of $10.99 for life.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that. They'll
So-
change that someday.
I know,
Yeah.
they're gonna listen and be like, "What the hell?" They're gonna change it now.
Here's the biggest benefit that I have found with cutting, whether it's cable or DirecTV or Dish or whatever. The biggest benefit is what a disaster it is to have to run that cord from whatever side of the room it was on,
Literally.
all the way around, or then you have to call and you got to 2 weeks from now, our agent will be there sometime between noon and midnight
Right.
to move that thing on the wall until the other side of the wall, right?
Yeah.
But now, if you have any sort of digital stuff at all, and I have DirecTV now. I think it's called AT&T now. All you have to do is plug in the Fire Stick or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the outdoor TVs, this is where it's really huge. An outdoor television,
You don't have to run wire.
running wire to the outdoor TV, disaster, terrible. You know what I mean? It was awful. Now you just plug in the Fire Stick,
And all of
and
your apps
boom,
are right there.
all of a sudden it's all right there. I mean, I think that is one of the.
through AT&T with DirecTV.
No, I have to pay extra for it, but trust me. Look, don't ask me how to do this because I still have the full DirecTV package and the DirecTV Now and all these other things.
You most certainly do. And the other thing is, when I'm traveling, if you take an Amazon Fire Stick with you,
I do that all the time.
that's it. All of your Hulu, your Disney Plus, your ESPN, like all these things that you're already paying for, you don't have to worry about it. It's conveniently right there. Upload it.
I think what's happening though, Ron, is it is all becoming so disjointed at times. Someone is going to come in and figure out a way to sort of bring it all together as one package. Like, okay, and you can buy the Hulu through us, and this, you know what I mean? They're
We'll be
gonna,
right back where we started.
and I think we're gonna be right back where we started. Think about it.
They're gonna
So
package
for
that,
$150 a month,
and
we're
they're
gonna give you all this
sell
stuff.
us cable.
Like, wow, it's like cable. And it feels like 2005 up in here.
It'll be okay. We only have to wait about 10 more years, and Disney's going to own everything anyway.
Oh, exactly. Right.
Yeah, just
So
go to
it'll all be
Disney
on
Plus.
one Disney app. So
Fake news.
I don't know the right way to go on this, but I'm starting to feel that cutting the cord is probably the right way to go.
Well, this is what I used to do, and I had it every year, maybe twice a year. I'd call Bright House, say, you know what, I need to cancel
Yeah.
my cable, and they'd be like, okay,
We're
hold
gonna
on, let me
cut you a
transfer
fee.
you to the retention, department, and they would transfer me, and then, oh, how about if I cut your bill? And they would cut
Yeah,
it pretty
of course.
decently. I'm like, okay, it doesn't make sense to cut it, so I'll just stop. Well, now that Spectrum came in, Spectrum is just like one big middle finger to everybody.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they're just like
They don't play games at all, you
no.
see.
So my bill went from like 185 to 220, and I
Ooh.
called and I'm like, whoa, what are y'all doing? And they're like, sorry, you want to leave? Go ahead, sayonara. So Spectrum is a tough cookie. So I think the important thing to understand is like if you have any desire to cut the cable, New Year's resolution time is where you probably have the most courage to do so and at least try it out. You know what I mean? Like in July when it's hot and miserable out and you're inside all the time and you're like, there's no way I'm gonna cut cable, you know. But now might be the time to
But
give it
that-
a shot. See
But
what
at
it
the
takes.
same time, the cable companies know that. And they're running these amazing deals because they know that people are going to look at their budget and say, this is the year I get out of debt. This is the year I do this. This is the year I cut back. And they're going to look at what these extravagancies are, and they know they're at the top of the list for that. So that's when they're like, oh, no, lock us in.
Really?
Yeah, because
I didn't
freaking
know
Hulu is offering, what, $1.99 for subscription?
Hulu.
Hulu.
Sold.
I fully
So what
believe.
do you get on Hulu?
Yeah, I don't know.
I
Who
don't know.
knows?
Honestly, I don't even
Okay,
know.
well,
Brent,
I guess you
what,
can't-
Hulu?
We have Hulu. I've
No,
never
Hulu-
opened
Hulu's
that
good.
app. I
Hulu's
don't.
good.
Yeah,
Me,
Hulu's
Kenny
legit.
loves Hulu.
Yeah, Hulu's
Why do
legit.
you love Hulu?
321-339-1055. Let's
Yeah.
say that I had to go with one
I need to
cable replacement system, so to speak. So the options I think are there's a YouTube TV,
Ugh.
there's DirecTV now called AT&T now.
Mhm.
There is Hulu,
Peacock.
I guess. Peacock.
Yeah, that's was it NBC's?
Yeah.
Is
But
it-
that's again, he's talking more like cable across the
Yeah,
board.
it's
Oh,
like
God.
it's
Oh, so you're
like
talking like slings.
Yeah,
Sling
Sling.
commercials are fantastic.
I mean, has anyone figured out what the best way to go really is? Let me tell you something about DirecTV now AT&T now. The problem with that one, and I only have this not because I want to say, oh, I have DirecTV regular and pay extra for the other one. It's because it's for The Office, you know, so I can watch it at home too, but I really got it for The Office. I'm not trying to be an a-hole here. But it's not really that good, and you can only watch 2 TVs at once. And this is not one of those things that it's an honor system. Well, I'm really only watching 2 at once. If you turn another one on, they will whack your connection in 2 seconds. I mean, you are done at that point.
So it cuts you off.
It doesn't cut you off. It like laughs at you when it cuts you off.
Well,
It's incredible.
I think I want to try this Sling thing out only because I just appreciate the commercials so much. The entertainment value
Oh,
is
yeah.
actually good. I can just watch those things on like just revolving
So
Sling
you
commercials.
say you want to be a slinger.
Ooh,
Okay, they can pull a hand and sling it.
Megan Mullally and what's
This
his
is,
name? Nick Offerman.
it's getting weird fast.
Person that you're talking about.
That's
Oh, yeah,
what
that's-
you're kidding.
Megan Mullally.
Oh, yeah.
Nick Offerman is
She's fantastic.
Ron Christopher is here. GC Wealth Management, my certified financial planner. 407-947-7396. Free consultation with him anytime. He will figure out how to fix your finances for 2020, for next decade. Let's not go into this next decade with all the same unknowns that we've had this decade. GCWMadvisors.com. Ron, I can't think of a better time of the year either than those of us that are employees, those of us that get a W-2, and we have an employee benefit package. Okay, let's see what's really in this employee benefit package. How is my health insurance? Do I have decent health insurance? Do I have life insurance to protect my family?
I don't.
If I were to go on I-4 where I risk my life every day, every time I hit I-4, I'm risking my life. Or let's say I get injured on the job and I need some kind of disability insurance to make sure that I'm the only one working in my family. If something happens to me and I can't work, how are we going to have money coming into my family? Is now a good time to really reevaluate my employee benefits?
Yeah, so far we've talked about, making, thinking big, making big goals and things. Don't ignore the small things. All of this administrative stuff that you can do is simple. It's easy. Get your benefit package book, look through it, know what's offered to you. You don't know how many times I got people coming into my office and I say, do you have life insurance? Yes, I have it through work. How much do you have? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, they have no clue. And they, like, I can use myself as an example. If I die, my family, my kids are hooked up, right? But if I get injured, not so much. And that's what a lot of people miss is this, whole disability insurance. And that whole market's changed. I'm not suggesting everybody goes out and insures themselves to the nines. What I'm saying is it might be offered through your employer and you just don't know. That's what a lot of people come in. They can email me their employee book. Just email it to me, and I'll explain everything to them, what's offered to them, and how much each thing costs. And that way you at least know. So that's one of the very basic administrative things that you should do every single year. So
I fully agree with that, and I think that we're all smart enough to know what disability insurance is, and we're smart enough to know what life insurance is, but if you were to ask me the question, hey Justin, if you were to die tomorrow, how much do you want to leave your family? I'd be able to say, I want to leave them $10 million. Okay, Justin, if you were to die tomorrow, how much are you leaving your family? I would unfortunately say I'm not positive.
Yeah.
That's something I need to reevaluate. And I think I'm not the only one that doesn't know how much life insurance I really have.
Well, it's not just the life insurance, too. All the administrative things, they overlap into wills, durable powers of attorney. You know how many people come in with 401ks they want to roll over, and like their ex-wife, their 2 ex-wives ago, or their beneficiary, you know, just that administrative checkup every year. Who's your beneficiaries? Do you have a will? Is it updated? You know, how many people come in and say, yeah, I've got a trust. I'm like, oh, great. Is it funded? No, I don't own it. I don't have one account in the trust name. I'm like, okay, so why do we have a trust?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's administrative stuff that needs to be taken care of.
It's a lot of, and I'm one of these guys. I really am. There are just some things in life that at the end of the day are, they're a pain. They're a pain in the ass, Mick, to be honest with you. Dealing with life insurance paperwork, or changing beneficiaries, or going through bank statements and seeing how much money I spend, or getting my life ready for taxes next year. These things just aren't fun to me. And it's not just me.
That's why I'm in business.
It's not fun to a lot of people, especially people that are self-employed like I am. It's just not fun. I mean, it's almost like we need to have, instead of a no-spin day, maybe we have a let's deal with everything that's a pain in the you-know-what day. And go, and we got to look at these things once a year. Hey, the funny thing is, most people I know, they'll go down to AT&T and say, well, I think I can get a better deal on my cell phone plan this year, but you won't go check your beneficiaries on your life insurance. Or you won't go check and see if you can get a better deal on your life insurance, or a better deal on your insurance. Maybe we need to have a, let's deal with everything that's a pain in the you-know-what day.
Yeah, that could be the first week in January.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot.
Exactly, you know? So that's a good name for it. What was that again?
Let's deal with everything that's a pain in the you-know-what day.
You-know-what day. I'm writing that down.
3-2. That's good. Can you add this to the list?
We'll put it on Facebook.
3-2-1-3-3-9. Don't say that. Brianna will put it on Facebook. In fact, please do.
Done.
Done.
I love coining new phrases.
It's already happened.
3-2-1-3-3-9-1055. Ron Christopher is here, my certified financial planner. We talked a little bit earlier about cutting the cord. We talked about automating good habits, and with me, automating good habits was just making an automatic contribution every month from my bank account to my retirement account. Are there any other good habits that we should go into this next decade automating?
So, well, I think every habit could be automated to some degree now with electronics, but I think to me that is the core of, for most people. You know, there are some people who either fall into money or, you know, get a business idea and it takes off and they achieve massive amounts of wealth. But for your average person, automating a savings plan is the single number one thing you can do. Now, if you think about it, it's most people that own a home, okay, for a lot of people that's their biggest asset. It's their 401k and their home, by far. And both of those are funded through automation, through payroll deferrals. What happens? 401k, they say, well, we'll match 3%. Well, I can't turn that down, so I'm going to put in 3%. That starts the habit. The house, you got to pay the mortgage, right? It's part interest, part principal. You're paying down equity. Guess what? You know, it appreciates due to inflation, so you're building equity in your home. All of that's automation. That's the number one way that, for me, that people, you know, can build wealth. Outside of that, those habits, I think for goals and such, you need to continue to focus on process. Make a 1% improvement in something consistently. If you make a 1% improvement in something that's important to you, pretty soon you're on point. You know what I mean? So what these are called atomic habits. Small atoms. Think atoms. Small atomic habits. Setting these up, making them a priority, focus on process. You can change anything. You really can. You can make lasting change.
One of my goals last year was to read more leadership books.
It's a good goal.
First of all, I've read zero. I mean, trust me.
I followed you in here.
And if you want to know for sure how many I've read, you can go look on my wall in my office right now, and you'll see how it literally is written on my office. If you look, it says read more leadership books, and it's not checked off because I haven't even started one. I think I tried to. I got to the point where I might have almost bought one. That's about as far as I got. Because it's hard, man. It is hard to find time to read books. Do you guys think that literally sitting down and reading a book about bettering yourself or leadership or financial strategy, I mean, is this still a good thing to do?
I think it is, but as far as those things that are difficult, start as small as you can.
What do you mean?
So start with something you can't say no to. Like, let's say you have a hard time going to the gym. Okay, the smallest thing you can do is walk in the door, probably step on the treadmill, and then walk right back out.
Yeah.
Commit to doing that 3 times in a row, 3 days in a row, right? And then guess what happens? One day you're going to go in there, you're like, oh, I got time. I can do 15 minutes on the treadmill, and just so
It's
like
not
for
as
you,
intimidating.
for like reading a book. I mean, just say, okay, I'm gonna read 5 minutes. That's it. That's all I'm gonna do. And then guess what? One time you're gonna read for 5 minutes, and next thing you know, you're gonna fall asleep after 35 minutes.
This is good advice because I feel like I'm sort of the I need to read it all tonight guy, or I don't even want to deal. If I'm
Most
gonna read,
men are that way. Most
is that right?
alpha males are that way.
One page
You are
at a
an
time.
No, I see. I feel like I need to read the whole. I'm not gonna start this thing, and I'm not gonna finish it tonight.
Right.
And I think that's my problem with books.
That's why you focus on the process, not the results. And the thing is you want to make up for all the lack of reading that you've done in your life. You know, like
In
In
2
one
seconds.
fell swoop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
let's say
Can
you
I watch a movie about this?
like if you don't
So you
go to
take
the
a
gym,
nap during the movie? Like you don't even watch movies, Justin.
if you don't go to the gym for a year and you go in that first day, guess what you're trying to do?
I'm trying to get skinny, baby.
You're
Oh,
killing
for
yourself.
God's sake.
You're trying to make up for a whole
I just tore an
year.
ACL.
I'm trying to get skinny. He's trying to walk out 15 pounds
Yeah.
lighter.
Yeah.
You've got to
Today.
limit your goals
Yeah.
here. You got to be realistic there. Come on.
Why are you coming in here with an astronaut suit?
Like, sir,
You're trying to make up for a whole year of one shebang, right? And then next thing you know, you're burnt out.
Justin's going in there. I baby, spot me. Sir, do you
3
lift?
plates.
No.
Squat rack. Yes, good Lord.
Spot me,
What
right?
about giving money for Christmas for kids?
You know, my mom called me today. She was like, "What do I get the kids?" And I told her money or gift cards. If you're a grandparent, I would prefer you give money in something more productive, like a college plan, which
Yeah.
we have those gift certificates, if you will, available. Anybody can call me. I can send them a gift certificate with the amount. They can give that to their grandkid, and do something productive. But most grandparents, their attitude is I'm going to spoil my grandkids so that they're rotten for my kids, basically. Like my kids were rotten for me. You know what I mean?
I'm going to prove it.
But you have different grandparents. Grandparents are like, they want to be the favorite grandparents, so they buy them tchotchkes, and then you have the ones that are like, let's keep it real, and
Yeah, reasonable.
I'm going to put it in a college fund.
Now, let me ask you this question, though. Let's say that I am a grandparent, and I'm smart enough to realize that this is a good thing. I remember being in, 8th grade or something, and there was this math teacher, and he would say, oh, look, all of you can be millionaires. And I was poor then. We had no money, whatever. He said, all of you sitting right here can be millionaires if you put $5 a month in as you are sitting here at 12 years old. And he said, it's mathematical. You put $5 in a month, by the time you're 50, you will be a millionaire. And it blew our mind. Of course, we never did that.
Of course.
But I think if I had a grandparent at the time who might have started something like that for me, maybe I would appreciate it. I don't know. What do you think?
So I do think so. I have a lot of clients who are 30-somethings that their grandparents started accounts for them. And we try to work with our clients and work with their kids and work with grandkids. We actually have children's books that we offer to our clients, and these are modeled. I'm going to bring these up. These are modeled after like Dr. Seuss in theme. One of the titles is The Cash in the Hat.
Yeah.
Always a good thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
The bean is not green is the other one. And where did the money go? Is the next one. And they're all,
Oh, that's an
themed.
adult book too.
Yeah, well, Brianna hit the nail on the head.
That's a D. Kenny type book right there.
You
Yeah.
can start reading to
Wait,
your kids
can
and
I
be like,
pre-order
no,
that?
I need this. Hang on.
It's exactly right. Like you watch a Pixar movie, right? It's for kids, right? But how much comedy is in there for us as
Oh,
adults, right?
Zootopia.
There are
Stop
messages
it.
in these books that are for adults.
That's
Let's
probably
just
the secret to their success.
right.
Yeah.
So every
Parents
kid,
involved.
every kid that my clients' children who graduate high school, they generally get a gift from me, which is You know, a little bit of money and a book. That teaches them to pay themselves first. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. And it's a very thin book. It's an easy read. But you know, the message out there to anybody with grandkids or kids is, you know, you probably don't feel like you got good money habits. If you're listening right now and you're above the age of 25, you probably don't have good money habits. None of us do. But, you know, giving to that next generation and creating those money habits will go a long way. And we all, you know, everybody has struggled financially, myself included.
Let's say then that I am a grandparent or a parent, and this year I've decided to not buy the tchotchkes and the the Nintendo whatever,
New
and
iPhone.
the new iPhone. Well, we can use the same iPhone for another year, no problem. And I'm going to create this college fund for my child or my grandchild, where I'm going to create an account, an investment account for them, that they can actually see, they can watch grow, that I'm going to contribute, even if it's $10 a month to automatically, I'm going to say, hey, grandkid, I'm putting $10 a month in here, you're going to be able to watch it grow. Can I protect it? Can I make it untouchable from them until a certain age?
Yeah, so that's the key, the 529, whoever opens the account, they're the account owner, they have all the control. The kid never has access to it unless you grant it, never. It's not like when they turn 21, they automatically get it or something like that. And you can start this with as little as $250.
Yeah.
You know, call my office, we set up an
So
account.
you could keep that until whenever.
Yeah, basically, you can change the beneficiary to another kid. Let's say little Johnny turned out to be a brat, and you know Becky is
That's a nice way
great
to say
kid.
it.
Or he didn't want to go to college.
He didn't want to go to college.
So then the other guy, the
Yeah,
other
and then
one
and, you know, little Becky gets, you can change
Yeah.
the beneficiary to her. So, and it's 50. Each subsequent investment is $50 a month is the minimum. So it's a very low entry.
The Kenny has a question, no microphone.
All right, coming in on the mic.
All right, go ahead. The Kenny,
So,
what up?
all right, so I'm a product of going through college and now trying to make it on my own post-college. And when I look back in retrospect, if I could go back, personally, I wouldn't even do college because it was a lot of money. I'm in debt. I took all these classes I didn't need. I don't have my dream job, even though I love working here. So, like, my question to you guys is, what if your kids do say, hey, look, like, I don't want to go to college, but I do want to go to, like, culinary school because I want to be a chef or I want to go to a specific thing and just study this one thing or whatever?
Kenny, that's
Great
a
question.
fantastic
Yeah.
question. Okay, so the 529 plan that I subscribe to is called College America. But don't let the name kid you. You can use that money on a tax-free basis for any higher education. In fact, they've even expanded it to private high schools. So if you want to go to a golf academy, done. You want to go to hair school, you want to
trade school.
whatever trade school, whatever you want to do, it basically can be used for that. Absolutely. And the tax-free benefits are the same as if it's for college or any other higher education.
All right, so then to follow up on that, so my kid is just a total loser. Doesn't want to even trade school. Doesn't even want to go do anything.
Ideal scenario, by the way.
But quite frankly, to be honest with you, I think
We
we
might be
focus
friends.
way too much on sending our children in this country to schools learning stuff they are never going to use again, where we could probably send them to trade schools and actually do something productive. But I think that's a whole other show. So let's say that my child, I have a 529, 100 grand in there. They just don't go to school at all. What happens then?
Your money.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about it is
You get it back.
Almost praying for them to go to school.
No,
It's like landed on free parking.
you do pay tax on the gains,
Okay.
okay, which you would have paid tax on the gains no matter what account it was in, except except the Roth IRA as an
Right.
example. But you pay tax on the gains and you pay a 10% penalty on the gain part. Okay. Now, if you've been deferring money for a long time in there, the tax deferral more than makes up for that penalty in tax. So it's your money. Go buy a boat. You know.
So it's not.
Don't
They're
buy
not.
a
They're,
Harley.
Don't buy it.
yeah. They're not going to take it back
It's a
anyway.
black hole.
Well, I use a boat as an example of
Yeah.
the worst thing you can spend money
I
on.
know.
As an example of
Yeah.
you can spend it on whatever you want, you know.
Right back here to wrap up a Thursday night with Ron Christopher, Certified Financial Planner. Give him a call with your financial questions, 407-947-7396. The website, gcwmadvisors.com. It's Justin Clark on the Florida Man Radio Network.
Until you have power radio with a
Good question, Kenny.
That was good, Kenny.
Yeah, that's a good question.
That was from the heart, man.
Did
Because
you
I
text him that? That's a perfect softball.
I always think about that.
Really?
Like, I feel like the future, like y'all
That was
kids,
perfect.
like,
Yeah.
you know, not that college is a scam. I wouldn't go that far.
Kind of is in a lot of ways.
But-
What are you gonna, I was majoring in art history. Go fuck yourself with this art history.
Right. What
There's
the
But
heck
like,
is that?
we're like in a woke more like younger kids are more woke to the game now. They're more smarter than these things and like that might be a conversation where kids might approach you and say, hey dad, look, like I want to be like successful, but I don't want to go to like a university. I just want to hone in on this one thing.
See, are any of them thinking about that really before they are in college? In other words, they're in high school, junior, senior. Are they thinking about the future?
Well,
My boys did.
You're right. You're right, Mick. Because when I was a senior, I wasn't thinking about that. Even as a senior, I wasn't even thinking about that. I had to go through the whole 4 years to then look back and go, you know what I mean? So yeah.
I'm from the Midwest, and that is trade school heaven, basically. So a lot of kids, like I was up there recently.
Can you believe
Senior is in a welding school. He's going to get out of high school. He's going to go get a job in like Kansas City doing welding, making like 50 grand a year as an 18-year-old or something. Something ridiculous. And
With no law school,
with
or
no
college.
debt, nothing. And another, my cousin, he did the same thing. He became a welder, and he's been working in Cleveland, Dallas, all over the place. And
College for me was a well-rounded life experience.
I had a fun time though.
Not that.
he said, well,
Far out.
I did have fun in college
So
though.
I wore a lampshade for a while. That's okay.
I'm no doorknob either.
It just gave me a better rounded education because it was a life education. But I took it serious. I didn't screw around. I actually studied.
Is there anything more annoying than
Oh, my degree was
and the
radio,
cost is
TV, film.
ridiculous. If you own some tools and aren't afraid of using a little elbow grease, you need to approach it.
I know so many people who come in with so much student loan debt. I mean, to the tune
They've
of
got parts from bumper to bumper and
$200,000,
everything in between. Fenders,
$300,000.
motors,
We
transmissions,
never had that.
batteries.
There was
You
no
need it,
student
you
debt
pull it.
like that.
Got your car that you're
And if
trying
that
to
debt wasn't
but you pull it
available,
also pays top
if
dollar for
if
junkers.
people couldn't
You
borrow,
pull it, you
your
save,
education would have been a
boogie
third of the
pull.com.
price.
Yeah.
Supply and
Because
demand.
you can.
If people can't pay,
I got
the
myself
cost
an
has
early
to go down
Christmas
to
gift
what they can
from a
afford.
superstore.
But now it's like, okay, well, lower income people cannot afford college, so let's let them go into debt. Which does what? It just raises the cost up to where it's unattainable unless you're a slave to debt for 25 years. You know what I'm saying?
so it becomes almost a norm because you grew up in poverty anyway.
And then what they do on top of that is they change, they make the bankruptcy law so it's not dischargeable bankruptcy.
Instead of money, like happiness has to be like the end game. Word. Like if your kid goes,
Satisfaction.
like if your kid comes to you and says, look, I don't want to go to college, but this other route is gonna make me happy in life as a person.
To be honest,
Focus
true
on,
happiness, sometimes it's all about
things that
stability.
are there.
Yeah.
Because happiness comes
Make
with
those
stability.
It's a balance. It's a
So-
it's a balance. It's a balance.
We
Yeah,
have,
you're right.
in
I want to have
where
$1 million
education-
this year.
what
No,
kind
no,
of
no. Focus on
education?
how you can
Our
get to it.
daughter just got out of high school in May. And we do, she's not a,
Trump.
she doesn't
What he
like
said?
school.
Teach me.
Like,
Do
we
it
knew she
now.
was
Do it fast.
So we're like,
Get it over
alright, if you
with.
want to, we want you to at least get
So we can get on to the
so that way
business
she
of
decides later she
Yeah.
wants to go back to
That's
her, her
right.
full
So we can get on
whatever
to
she
the
should.
business.
Go to school part-time. I
So
used
I
to
gotta
advocate
say,
for
I'm not a
taking a gap
Republican
year.
and
I
or
took
a
a gap year
Democrat.
after high school and I traveled and traveled all over the world.
This is the most
And then when I
disgraceful
got back,
thing
I was
I've
ready
ever
to go to
seen in
school.
American
Before
politics.
then, I didn't want to go to school.
This
I was
charade
like,
1 minute.
Yeah.
I
is
could.
nuts.
But I
Absolutely
went out and
nuts.
traveled,
It's
so
like,
I didn't
think
have like
about
the
it,
urge to
when
do
you're
to want to do
guilty,
something else
when
because I feel like I'm
you're doing the
missing
wrong
out
thing,
for 4
you
years
keep
after high school because
covering
I'm in
up your
school,
lies.
It's
So
crazy. I told a lot of people that don't go to college and they have that
And
regret.
they-
Like, oh, I
they
wish I
can't
had the
get out.
college experience. And I'm
But
like,
they have to say
not really
things.
just-
I mean,
Democrats
technically,
gotta
I
get
didn't,
work.
I didn't have the traditional college experience because I graduated high school with an associate's degree. So I went into college as a junior and I didn't like qualify for housing. I didn't qualify for any of that because I was upperclassmen.
Guess we ran out of money.
So I didn't get the traditional college experience. I was in there for like it was business, it was a transaction.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show up.
the whole fraternity thing, all
nobody
that.
was
I
talking
did none
about
of that.
Cliche American college experience, and it was great. It was fun. Like you said, like I had
The first
fun.
time
you do learn to live on
we
your
hit the debt
own,
ceiling
and
with
that's
him.
the first time you're on your own paying bills, and you are
Democrats didn't
learning
wanna
different
pay.
stuff outside the classroom too. though.
I went out of high school. I moved out of my parents' house and I went to live with my brother in Germany for 3
He
months.
said, I'll never cave again.
18 years old, living in a whole other country for the national language I do not speak. Like, is that you want to grow up? Like, just go travel.
He knows
Just
the
go get some
ropes.
experience to think about, and then go back. Like, you know,
I love this song. Great movie. That's kind of reason.
Oh.
Yeah, we had my financial advisor on tonight, the only man that I trust
Guilty.
when it comes to investing money. He's my certified financial planner, Ron Christopher. He can also be yours. He'll do a full financial analysis. Easy for me to say.
Analysis.
No, the first one you don't want him to say that.
All you have to do is call him, 407-947-7396. Go to his website, GCWM Advisors, and that's ADVISORS.com. Can you spell it? ERS?
Yeah, normally mostly Europeans.
Okay.
They like easy.
I'm kind of a Euro.
Well, would you still get to the website?
No, we've talked about that before, Mick. I can't afford to use a domain name unless you want to purchase
He's not
it
out
for
here
me.
just purchasing donations.
Real quick, any big goals for you next decade?
So 2020 is a huge year for me. I can't tell you how excited I am. I am ahead of my plan. It's on my whiteboard.
That's awesome.
I'm so looking forward to next year. I love everything that represents. The last decade, the Yankees didn't win the World Series once.
That was awesome.
That's a great decade for us.
It was.
Kenny just left.
He's about to log out.
He's like, I'm out.
He's out of here. He's going to go play Nintendo.
So in other words,
I
it's
quit.
all going according to plan.
Exactly,
Great.
exactly.
I hate you.
Yeah, my Buckeyes are like 12-0, 8-0 in basketball.
Excellent job, Ron Christopher. Give him a call, 407-947-7396. EC, good job today, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
I'll see you tomorrow night. Kenny, I'll see you tomorrow as well. Brianna, I'm sure I won't see
on
you
Monday.
until Monday. She doesn't like to work a lot, but I know.
Just enough. Keep you thirsty.
Tune back in tomorrow morning, 6 to 10 a.m. for Bubba the Love Spots. Then Scott Ledger, Dangerous Conversation from 10 until noon. Until then takes over from noon until 2 when my boy Shannon Burke comes into the studio from 2 until 6. Mick Dolan, I don't know much, but I do know one little tiny thing.
What's that?
I will see you right back here again tomorrow night at 6 p.m. on the Florida Man Radio Network.
Yo.